there are some dealings in the capital market whereby some investors will take advantage of a company, or a company will also take advantage of the investor. So with the help of SEC, they ensure that there is no abuse of integrity in the security market. Then the next one is it regulates the activity of the stock exchange. All the activities of the stock exchange on a daily basis is regulated by the SEC, which is the Security Exchange Commission. Then the next one we have is registration of security proposed for, offer for sale, and offer for suspicion. And that is what brings us to our share certificate. So with the help of Security Exchange Commission, they make sure that all shares that have been subscribed to the public are registered, and to know the amount, the shares that has been proposed by the company, and the ones that must be subscribed to the public, to general public, to accept at the end of the day. So that are the functions of a Security Exchange Commission. Now, with the next regulatory institution that regulates the activity of the capital market, it is Nigerian Stock Exchange. And what is the Nigerian Stock Exchange? This is the secondary market for selling and buying existing security shares. And when we're talking about the existing security shares, is that in as much a company has offered a share to the public, and that the general public accepted the share and subscribed, they become the shareholder. But most of the times, a general public might need, shareholders might need a cash and wants to sell a share. So that can be done. That dealing can be done in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, because it's either new shares or existing shares, which is classified as a security. So they can be traded in the stock exchange market. So it's also do with share of company listed, company listed it. Then it can any company, before you can be dealing in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, your share must have been quoted in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So it deals with any share, any form of share of the company in the exchange market, which is also called capital market. Now, what are the functions of a Nigerian Stock Exchange? They increase liquidity of listed security by creating permanent market for exchanging them at a little cost. Yes, because the dealings in the Nigerian Stock Exchange is to transfer shares from one person to another. So when shares is transferred from one person to another, then it ensures the liquidity of the person that sold that share. So you realize cash at the end of the day when you dispose your shares to another investor. It can be in form of company to company or individuals to individual. Then the next one, they allow quotation to be made on stock exchange to increase the status of the company. Before your shares and anything that has to do with company can be known, the stock exchange ensure that the shares are quoted, the company shares are quoted, and in this situation, it helps to increase the status of the company. People know about the company, they know more about the numbers of shareholders and their share price at the end of the day. They can even go ahead to know the market value of shares of that company through the quotation on the stock exchange market. Then we have Abuja Stocks and Commodity Exchange. This is originally incorporated as a stock exchange on June 1917. It was established to manage the effect of price fluctuation in market of agricultural produce, which adversely affect the earnings of farmers. Here, the only thing they monitor here in Abuja Stock and Commodity is strictly on farmers' produce, which is the farmer product, like cash crops and the others. So they help to affect the price, to manage the effect of price fluctuation, which do normally affect the earnings of the farmer at the end of the day. So they ensure those prices are regulated so that it will not discourage farmer from going into farming business. So that is the work. So they ensure that the price is affect they dictate for the price and other things like that. So that is the work of a stock exchange and commodity market. Now we're going to the theme 2, which is the introduction to data processing. What is a data processing? Data processing, it is the terms for the processing of producing meaningful information by collecting items of data together and perform operation on them. And you know, when we're talking about data, it's something that you put into the computer, and after performing some operation, it gives you the output at the end of the day. So likewise, the accounting data, which are information, are also input to the computer, which are being done by the computer. What is data? Data, this is the raw, unprocessed input element into the system from which we want to extract useful information. Without putting data into the computer and it's being processed, it cannot be, you will not be given useful information at the end of the day. Now we talk about information. Information, though, it consists of data which have been recorded, organized, classified, and processed into useful and meaningful form. And as you all know that accounting is an information. When you gather data together, which are items, maybe from debit note, from purchases invoice, from sales invoice, from so many things that you collected from sources of a document that makes up account, you process it at the end of the day, and when you process it, it becomes accounting information at the end of the day. So likewise, data processing that we are talking about here. Now, what are the quality of good information? What are the quality? The first one is that good information must be accurate. Then we have timeliness. It does not delay times. It makes everything to be very fast. And then the next one is relevant. The good quality of information must be relevant, and that is what makes it a quality information. Then it has to be completeness. You know, when an information is not complete, it is not worthy to be classified as a quality information. Then we have cost effectiveness. When we're talking about cost effectiveness, is that how you can minimize cost. A good information, you will not spend much, you only spend little, and you get a quality information at the end of the day. Now, how do we process data? Data processing stage. You know, data has a stage. You cannot just put data, type a data or input a data into the system, and you did not perform things that you need to perform without giving you information. Everything has a process. Likewise, accounting also has a process. Before you can get the data, then you need to record it. Then after you record it from the source document, then after you record it, then you begin to classify it. After classifying it, then you interpret it, you communicate it to the users. So likewise, also data processing in the accounting process is that the first thing is that you get the origination of the data. And origination of data in the aspect of where did you source those source documents, which are debit note, invoice, receipt, and the likes. So before you can get data must have place where it originates from, or we can call it sources, where you source it. Then after that, you prepare the data so as to make it ready to input into the system. So after preparation, then you input it into the system. After you input it, then you process it, and that will be done by the CPU, which is the central processing. And after it has been processed, then it gives you the output, which is the information you need at the end of the day. So that are data processing stage, which must be known when you are processing the accounting information. Before we go to accounting environment, gradually brief ourselves on the computer. Computer is defined as the electronic device which accepts data through input unit, process the data according to the instruction, and then transfer the result to the unit where it can be stored or printed. and that's the work of account. Did not press something on account, account can work on itself. Computer follow command and instruction. So when you input the data, so that's why it's an electronic device which accept data, and when data is being inputted, it's transferred to the process unit, whereby it might be in calculation or logical or anything that has to do with arithmetic with that. So in the course of that, he process it. After he process it with a command or instruction, then it gets the information at the end of the day, which can be stored or be printed at the end of the day. So that is the computer. What are the type of computer? We have an analog computer and a digital computer. But this more analog is the kind of computer that have been used for the past donkey years, which is of no use again. They are updated, but what they are outdated. But what people are using now is a digital computer, which is also put in use in this modern day. Now, what are the classifications of computer? We have different classification of computer. The first one, we have a mainframe computer, and this is the biggest type of the computer. It is used in a multinational company. Then we have a mini computer. This is not as powerful as mainframe, but they are more compact and robust. You can't compare mini computer with mainframe. Is big, and it can be used for many tasks. You can 10 people, 20 people can operate on the mainframe, but the next one to the computer is that of mini, which is not as powerful as mainframe. We will be talking about a microcomputer of